to the Jurni.
Welcome to a special presentation of the Icon's Journey. And today we're changing up the format with a little bit different conversation with Adam Bart. If you're watching this live, hit us with a hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, hit us with a hashtag replay, and we'll be responding to the comments in this episode. Now, the Icon's Journey is all about becoming a global leader in your industry. And today we're going to talk about something that's very relevant to our current times. And it's the fact that everything's changing. So what do you need to know in business to move forward and to actually succeed when many other people are struggling? Now, my career as an online marketer over the past 20 years, I have always connected with and aligned with the people who stay ahead of technology, who are plugged in, who know what's going on, who know like all the coolest softwares and all the coolest technology that's going to take over. Because as things emerge, as like back in the day, Google Ads came out, that was a really hot thing for a while, and then it becomes super competitive. There was a day when I was making $15,000 a month selling digital information on eBay. Well, now that's next to impossible unless you like have some really rare and unique thing out there. So the trends change. And in my 20-year career, I've been fortunate enough to ride a bunch of those waves. And I've also missed a bunch of really great opportunities because I ignored what my friends and what my best advice from the people who knew what was about to happen, who understood the trends. I ignored just as many as I was lucky enough to capitalize on. So the pain of that regret causes me now to look very closely at the newest trends and not miss it. And a few months ago, I set out to create a TV network, and I connected with this guy, Adam Bart. I've got him on the show today. And he is one of these technological wizards where he has spent the time like getting to know how all of this new stuff is working. He actually knows the people that builds the systems for people making $1 million a month, $10 million a year businesses. He actually knows the software designers. He knows the people that are actually building these systems. So it's a very important thing to me to have a guy like Adam Bart in my corner. And in the past, I would have kept this guy a complete secret, not told anyone about him, and just hoarded him to myself. But moving forward, I think it's the best to share your best resources with people, to connect you with the people that can actually help you. So today, we're here to talk about, I just want to give you a really special preface too, because when you talk about online marketing, you talk about business, the information almost sounds like a pitch. I can tell you right now, we are not trying to pitch you with anything. We're just trying to educate you about all the cool new stuff that you should be aware of. Because mark my words, in 2021, if you jump on these new trends, you're going to have a much easier time than investing in the dying methods that everyone else is teaching. So, hey, Adam, thanks for joining us here today. Really looking forward to this conversation. I know it's going to blow a lot of people's minds and wake them up to what's going on.
What's up, Brian? Nice to be here with you and have this conversation, which we obviously having all the time. And now it's time to share a bit.
And, that's why we're doing this today. So, Adam, just to kick this off, we're here to talk about the trends that are emerging. So there's about a dozen things we could discuss. I don't know if we'll get to them all today, but what can someone do moving into 2021 that's different than what everyone else is teaching? Like, what's one of the main strategies that people should be aware of?
I mean, there is obviously, as always, there is lots of things going on, but I think something that we've been observing for a long time, we know that some means of communication got better conversion and opening rates, and some got much lower. Like, for example, if you communicate with your audience only with email marketing, you know that conversion rate is really low. It's 14-16%,
which is dropping steadily.
And it's dropping all the time. So, I'm not saying that email marketing is dead. It's not, and there will be always certain people that like to be communicated this way. But to support this, we are adding other means of communication. So we're using Messenger, we're using WhatsApp, we're using text messages, and we're incorporating this in one all system, one all funnel. And we need to, for example, know that in first quarter of 2021, Instagram gonna be integrated with Facebook through Messenger. So then we can incorporate this platform as well. So can you imagine what difference it's gonna make when you communicate with people with all this means of communication at the same time, and circle back with your information, with whatever you got to say, whatever you got to offer in this way. So it's just super powerful. So building system to communicate with your ecosystem, yeah, you need to remember about what is the opening rate, what are the preferred means of communication of your audience. And if you know this, you just build it around it, and then there is no chance that somebody gonna slip by this small cracks, which you small or big, if you obviously not think of every corners.
So you mentioned a few things that I just want to sort of translate what Adam's saying, because he's mentioning where people are communicating. So I've seen some recent stats that there's something like twice as many messenger messages happening than there are text messages. And there's so many, like the open rates on Messenger is like 90%, and it's like 10 or 15% on email. And it's 15% if you're a really extremely good marketer. But Messenger open rates are off the charts. Same with WhatsApp. And I think what a lot of people don't realize is, just like in an autoresponder, you can set it up to have messages go out automatically. What Adam's talking about here is actually being able to set up an automated system so that you can communicate with people on these channels. And so that's the Messenger conversation, Adam. What about Messenger bots? Like, how does that tie in with the strategy that you're talking about here?
Yeah, so everything what I said, all type of communication can be automated. So whatever is it, SMS, whatever is WhatsApp, Messenger, and obviously email, and in obviously very pretty soon Instagram, and so everything can be integrated in one system that obviously can be designed and can be used on the daily basis to communicate with your whole ecosystem, which obviously you can supply the system with all your leads, with all your audience from obviously where is the YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn, whoever you whatever platform you are in, or whatever ads you are running, because obviously it's possible, plus all your base that you already have. You can plug everything in and just plug it to this system, and then from whatever is going to be beginning of the system, then obviously it's going to be circulated over and over again, but of course, as I said, everything can be fully automated.
And okay, so now that's a great technical explanation that anyone who kind of understands this realm already would get very excited about. But let me just explain to you sort of what that means as a marketer. So let's say you make a post on Facebook, and you could tell someone, hey, leave a comment below with a certain keyword, and then that could drive them to your messenger bot will actually send them a message, and then the messenger bot can set appointments. It can collect their email. It can tie in with all of your other systems. It could send them text message reminders. It can book on your calendar. It can integrate all of that information, just because in a live Facebook video, you said, hey, drop the word unicorn below, and then the messenger bot can actually intelligently react to that. There's a myriad of ways people can send you a message on your page, and that messenger bot can be triggered. And the really cool thing is with the integrations with Instagram, WhatsApp, and there's actually a new type of thing that's going to replace SMS, a new type of text message that's coming out pretty soon. It's tied in with the 5G. This messenger bot will actually be able to integrate with all the new stuff that's coming out. So you have this interactive thing that's happening here. Now, that sounds like pretty cool, right? Wouldn't it be neat if you could have an ad or a post or a live broadcast and all this stuff can like get people into your ecosystem, is that what I'm saying? Now, there's a couple of reasons why people don't do it. Well, one, it's super time consuming, right? Adam, how much time does it take to set something like this up?
Oh, this, I think, system like this, where we think of covering all the corners, when we thinking of actually making this without cracks that your lead in any point can slip out. So basically, something that is very, very optimized to conversion, to design such a system for individuals, because you need to understand that on every single step you need to write a copy for it. Yeah, so it has to be converting copy as well, which obviously after a long time of using this, we know what can be used, what are the best conversions, and obviously we're using things that has been successful for a long time for various people, for various businesses. So having this kind of obviously library massively helps, but still to design such a system, it's around 2 weeks to make sure that this is really well converting, although it still will need some split testing. That's why on every single part of the system we are putting all the tags, we're putting all the special softwares to actually all the time check the data, what's going on, if people are stopping somewhere, where are those cracks, that we are even making them closer and closer, so just closing all the gaps, obviously for the better and better conversion all the time. But just answering to your question, it's 2 weeks using all the resources, but I cannot imagine if you start building from scratch, it's half a year, I don't know, maybe.
And that's 2 weeks from people who have done this before, for people making millions, who understand the system, understand the software. So for anyone trying to learn all this stuff, I mean, it's confusing. I mean, how many of you have gotten like your own copy of ManyChat and tried to design a messenger bot? You can easily design one that sucks and gets no response. I mean, that's a very easy mistake to make. I mean, when I first started messing with this stuff, I got discouraged early on as well, because there's a big learning curve to actually see what works with people. So,
and I just want to touch on one thing. So guys, don't get me wrong, I'm not encouraging to learn. Yes, do it, of course, but it's a learning curve. It's a huge knowledge. So obviously it's super interesting, and I'm always encouraging everybody to learn, because more you know, obviously better marketer you are. But you need to understand as well that there's a different understanding. There is I would say, understanding on the surface, so you generally know how it works, but to design it, it's a little bit like a car. We know how this car works. We know that when we press here, or now when we are with our key in the car, it's gonna, and you press the button, it's gonna run, and then probably you know how to put petrol, you know how to maybe change the tire and a few things, but it doesn't mean that you can actually engineer all car. So this is how it's a little bit works. So even if you got all the parts, which I'm not saying that we are engineering new means of communication, no, but we are putting all the parts together. We putting all the resources. Like, not every single new car got a new engine. No, it's not. Yeah, but we know where this engine in, how to put this, connect with other things that needs to be done, and eventually we can construct the car that's actually run, you know, and it will take you 10,000 miles if you put the petrol in. So this is the big difference, you know. So I just want to tell you, it's super interesting. It's super interesting to study. It's super interesting to dive into it. But first, you need time, loads of time, and then if you can do it at the same time that you are doing your actually core business, yeah. So
that's the problem.
That's what I'm saying, you know. So.
And I mean, for me, it's two main factors. What you just said is spending all the time trying to be a salesperson versus like delivering your business. because you should be helping people, talking to people, and doing what it is that you do. Like you should be providing the service in the most stellar way possible. If you're trying to
Absolutely.
at the same time, you can't do both fully. And the other thing really here, when we're talking about disrupting 2021, here's the thing. The world has just changed. So people are scrambling to figure out how to go online and make money online. Well, there's this huge influx of competition, like people who wanting to learn this stuff. So you really don't have 6 months to figure something out, because by the time you figure it out, it's going to be too late. There's going to be people doing it. So the speed of getting someone who already knows how to do it, that can do it in a fraction of the time at a lot less cost. I mean, even if you thought about spending like 1,000 hours or 500 hours, whatever it takes, Adam's talking 6 months, that's 1,000 hours of full-time effort. I mean, even if you only make like, what's your rate? I mean, if you made only $20 an hour, which is like, I doubt any entrepreneur would really be willing to work for that. That's 20 grand right there out of your pocket, and a lot of frustration and a lot of missed opportunities. So
exactly. Perfectly said, honestly.
Really looking at, I mean, my biggest mistake in the past was always trying to figure everything out myself. And I mean, it's going to be harder and harder to do that, to build a successful business, because there's just too much to learn for any one person, So just like the auto mechanic, when the car breaks down, if you're not an experienced mechanic, what do? You take it to the shop, right? You get the pros to do it.
Absolutely. I mean that what I think it's important to say here is that lots of people are saying of cost of doing things. But if we ask yourself, what are the costs of not doing things?
Yeah.
This is the question.
Yeah.
What is it going to cost your business not to do it? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And I mean, with the way things are changing, I mean, if you're relying on email and if you're relying just on the same stuff you've been relying on, that's going to dwindle while this other stuff takes over. And just think about your own, like, how much time do you spend on Messenger and on Facebook compared to reading emails or even reading text messages? So the thing is, you need to be where your audience is, and your audience is in Messenger. They're using these other, like WhatsApp. They're on Instagram. They have a cell phone all the time. I mean, this thing, I don't think anyone here can't reach and grab it in their pocket or on the table next to them. Anyone watching this, right? All the time it's in your hand. Well, like that's where the customer is. That's where you need to get to them. So super important. Wow, Adam, I thought we'd be able to share 10 strategies here today, but this is so interesting. We're only able to get into the one. We've talked about lots of other things. Is there another strategy that we've been talking about that we've been wanting to share with? Actually, Facebook engagement. There's some tools for that. Could you just briefly explain some of the softwares that are available and some of the stuff we're working on?
Yeah, there's obviously, as we all know, there's a Facebook automation, not only Facebook, but let's touch Facebook, which we can, using organic strategies, we can obviously incorporate into our everyday modus operandi, which can be massively helpful. But again, it has to be used in a certain way to not make our account shut down, to steal. I'm always saying that even if you use some automation, which is fantastic if you know how to use it again, but it's super important that our approach to people will never tell them that we are actually using this automation. Yeah. So whatever, it always needs to be this human touch. So I wouldn't say it cannot be only automation. So it cannot be robotic. Obviously, when it's only human, that obviously you are struggling to have so much time to get in touch with a certain amount of people. So it needs to be like a combo, like something which is always in between. So you automated some processes, but always the message is yours. Always the message is bespoke.
The automation saves time and creates opportunities to actually connect with people where you just wouldn't have the time to create those opportunities. So anything that can save you 4 or 5 hours a day for the stuff you know you should be doing, and you can do that in 20 minutes, that's always a good idea to do. So
Absolutely. Plus, also for example, for me, one of the coolest software you can use is CRM software to basically organize all your communication via Messenger. So you can tag all the people on which level of pipeline they are, and basically it's putting you, like you tagging, let's say, new, cold lead, warm, hotter, buyer, and you're just pushing, these people through the pipeline, and you're tagging them. So whenever you open your Messenger, you got all the tags to know, okay, this person is on this level on pipeline, this is on this level, this is on this pipeline, and then you obviously can add some messages that's been going on. You can add some information, and you can, the most important thing, add some notification. That, let's say, in a week, we said he wants to come back in a week. So in a week, or we got information this guy is waiting for the message, or we can even straight away put automated message. So, oh, it's been a week. How things has been with you, etc., etc. So this system can send obviously automated message to this person. So again, what I said before about other strategy, everything is all about closing these gaps when the leads, when our potential buyers can just slip through. So this is super important. Another thing to just add to our closing, gap ecosystem strategies.
So you can consistently every day be finding new leads. And if you add 20 people to your pipeline, and then you're following up with the people you talked to a few days ago, getting to know them better, and then you're calling back the people you talked to last week who said, yeah, I'd be willing to talk to you about that. And then you're doing your appointments. So every day you're moving your whole sales system forward. Well, Adam and I have some future trainings. We're actually putting together this conference called Disrupt 2021. And what we're doing in this conference, it's going to be in a few weeks. We haven't announced the date yet. We're lining up industry professionals to teach you about all of this stuff. I mean, we literally had like a dozen things we wanted to talk about today. We got to like one. So
it's so complex.
But this is like super exciting, cutting edge stuff. So in the next few weeks leading up to this conference, we're going to have the industry leaders and the experts. We've already got a bunch of them that we're working with to the ones building $10 million systems, that we're going to have them on this in this summit, and you're going to have a chance to learn this stuff and how to actually apply it. And we just want to put it out there that, we're working with people and we're not selling a package here. So if you wanted to use something like this to grow your business, we can actually connect you with the resources to have this done for you, so that you can, without lifting a finger, actually have this kind of stuff working for you in your business. And, we're super booked. I mean, Adam and I actually struggled to get the half hour to do this call today because we're so busy with what we're already doing. But we do have a few openings for serious people who want to grow their business because we're looking to partner with people. And, it's pretty cool because we've made the connections where we can take anyone wherever they're at. If you're trying to get to the $100,000 a year level, we can put you in touch with the people to make that happen for you. We've got software that can do it for you. And if you're already making like 10 grand a month and you're stuck at that plateau at that level, we can connect you with the people that can set this up for you. So we're just reaching out. We're going to be on tour with this as we promote this conference. We're just letting people know of the possibilities. Like, you don't have to be stuck. You can actually move forward. So you can message Adam or you can message me if you want to know more about this. Let's just have a conversation. I can assure you there's no sales pitch here. It's just we can explain how you can get started with something like this. And if you watch my show here, Icon's Journey, every week we're going to be talking about this kind of stuff leading up to this summit. And Adam, he has a show called Six Figure Journey. He's going to be talking about this stuff. And we're even considering creating a show around this leading up as well. So we're going to be putting a lot more information with a lot more cutting edge, cool strategies to share with you in the next few weeks. So it's definitely something you should pay attention to because it's going to help you have an unbeatable advantage in your business in 2021.
Absolutely.
So thanks for coming and sharing, Adam. I wish we had more time today, but fortunately, since we have our own TV network, we can talk more about this in the future. So
Absolutely, super excited stuff, guys. So always on top of things, always on top of new technologies, which I think it's always gonna help us. And as I said, more tight our system is, much more we can squeeze out of it. And this is what it's all about, actually.
all right, guys. So let us know if you want to know more about anything we talked about today, or we'll see you in another episode. And we'll be sharing more possibilities with you in future episodes. Aloha.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.